Hi everybody, and welcome to my February 2020 Paletteful Packs Premier box unboxing. So inside it looks like we get an art crayon, a bowl, watercolor. So these art crayons are watercolor crayons. So we get some individual colors that are outside of the boxed set. Okay, so they're basically loading us up with these. And then a nice brush. Princeton Select number 6. Let's see what else we got. Looks like some watercolor paper as well. So this is called the Marabu Art Crayons. Marabu Art Crayon 5 color sets. So you get two, well, these are two 4-color sets. And you get blue tones and some pink tones, red tones. So it says Art Crayon is a buttery smooth, wax-based soft pastel in a sturdy, fully loaded, retractable holder with an ergonomic grip and a clear protective cap. A versatile medium that's suitable for a variety of fine art and mixed media work. Art crayons work well on raw or primed surfaces such as paper, canvas, fabric, or wood. Create rich textural solids at 100%, blend and stamp colors for beautiful backgrounds, or brush with water for transparent effects or reductive techniques like wipe stenciling. So the MSRP on these packs are supposed to be $14.99 each. And then there's the two individual crayons that you get in black and white. And those are supposed to MSRP at $3.99 each. Then you get your, of course I showed you the plastic water cup, the brush, which is a Princeton Artiste Select brush, high quality short-handled brush, made to last. It doesn't indicate what kind of bristles, so I'm not sure if they are synthetic or real hair. And then the watercolor paper, 8x10. No wasted paper. These sheets of 500 series premium watercolor paper are pre-cut into standard size sheets for ready-made frames and mats. The paper is 100% cotton, archival, lignin, and acid-free, and available in cold and hot press finishes. It's supposed to MSRP at $12.29. The brush is supposed to MSRP at $5.95. So let's go ahead and take a look at this paper. So it's pretty nice, 10 sheets. It's pretty substantial. Okay, so for the next portion, I will experiment with some of these items, and we'll see how they perform. Okay, so basically I went ahead and set up my work area just to show how they perform. I'm not going to do an elaborate piece or anything. Just basically show how they lay. I've never used anything like this before. So the paper is really nice and heavy and thick. And it is. It's pre-cut and it's ready to be matted or framed, actually, 8x10. So I'm going to go ahead and set that down. And normally I would secure it with masking tape. There's all kinds of cool effects you can do with watercolor too, you know. I like to use salt, actually, to disperse the water. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some water into the cup that they provided and basically try and use everything that they provided. Because these really should be almost sufficient boxes. So I'm going to try two techniques. First technique is I'm going to wet the paper over here first. And normally I would use a larger brush, but again, I'm trying to use what they provide. And then I'm going to actually just, I'll go with some of the darker colors on this, and I'm just going to go right over it. And they lay almost like an oil pastel, actually. They're very, so a crayon, you picture it being pretty waxy, and this is not. It's really supple. It lays very nicely. Now that may be because I wetted it ahead of time, so we'll see when I try it on a dry surface. I'm gonna go ahead and apply some water to this and see. Oh, that is really cool. I've never used anything like this before. The only thing that I could see being a drawback is it looks like it may chunk. I'm not sure how those chunks are gonna dissolve in the end. It looks like they will, but you might end up ruining some of your brush stroke with it because you're trying so hard to dissolve the little bits that are inside here that are not dissolving quite so well. So what is ultimately going to happen here, it looks like wherever you apply the pressure to lay the pigment initially, then when you go back over with the brush, it's going to leave kind of a residual mark. I don't know if you can work that mark out. It looks like it's going to be rather difficult to work that out. So that could be ultimately a drawback to using these crayons versus regular watercolor that you're usually accustomed to. So mainly I just see these being actually valuable for a matter of convenience. I don't like how the residual mark for where you first lay the pigment. Very hard to blend out. If you really work at it, I'm sure eventually you can blend it out, but it becomes a lot of work. So first you're dealing with the little chunks that are left behind. Second, you're dealing with the residual mark. So let's try it first now on dry and see how that performs. So I'm gonna come over here to where it's dry. And then also I'm gonna try not pressing as hard and see if that does anything to help. So it's literally just placing it on dry paper now. Now I'm gonna go back through and I'm gonna try to blend that. So what I find is it's even more difficult with the residual mark left behind. This is what I'm speaking of, these marks here. So I think how I would treat this is I would wet the paper first. That would be the absolute must with these. B, not press down too hard to lay the pigment. And then C, I would actually probably with this do more of a drawing because you know there's going to be residual marks left behind. And then anticipate that you have almost this drawing underneath that you're going to have blended color around. So that's how I would treat it. For instance, I'm going to wet everything first. And I'm just going to do something here just as an example. I'm going to try this teal. I'm going to know that this is going to leave behind lines probably. So I'm just going to draw, say, something like this. And I'm going to just try another color within there and see what happens. Just say, do something like this. And now I'm going to anticipate that I can almost do like an auric blend around it, but it'll retain a general shape because of what's going to be left behind. So that's how I would treat these. I would treat it as a matter of convenience. I would treat it as having an underlying line that you probably can't blend out, and just be cognizant of it when you're creating your artwork, and use those special qualities to create something really unique. Now, the thing that I do see that's happening that's pretty cool is it's texturing. There's a thickness about it that's kind of layering nicely, but I just can't really get rid of these lines right now. Again, perhaps if I work with it for a while, I will be able to, but for right now, no. So ultimately, this is what I'm coming up with. So you are getting the effect of a watercolor, but it is almost, it's leaving behind lines of the crayon, even though it lays like an oil pastel. So that's my take on this. I will just know that there will be a line drawing with this, or I'll have to be smart about how I lay things down. Maybe treat it like it is a pastel and layer it like pastels, and then do something with that. That's always an option. So what I mean by that is I would, and again, I'm gonna go with wedding paper first, definitely with these. I would, I'm gonna go really thick with this now. I'm just gonna pick, say, like thick, like this. And lay in some, like just as if I'm using pastels in a drawing. I'm gonna treat it that way instead this time and see what I can get with that. And that actually will be the best way to use these, because they will blend better, they're layered, and they're not going to leave as much of a line. So you got to lay these pretty thick. And then it all should be well. All right, so that's my take on this. You can see the difference. Laying it on wet paper really thick gives you better end result for blending than light application on the wet paper, and definitely dry application is a no-go for me. I will not like this. I see no application I can use this for. And this is moderate pressure on wet paper here. This is my preference here. Thick, as if you're drawing with oil pastels on wet paper, and then being generous with the water afterwards. So the Paletteful Packs came with a prompt and challenge. I didn't mention this. It looks like week 1 will be jealous, week 2 will be wrapped, week 3 new, and week 4 romantic. Make a drawing painting based on your interpretation of the prompt, post it to social media, hashtag it with Paletteful prompt, Paletteful Packs. I failed miserably, only got to like number 7 on the last one. I don't commit well to these things. But that's it. That's the February 2020 Paletteful Packs. I've never used a medium like this before. It's very interesting. It'll challenge me. I'll try some new techniques. And thank you for watching, and I hope that this helped you decide that you would ever want to try an art crayon, watercolor crayon. I never even knew these existed. So thank you and take care. Bye.